Well, I'm not sure if he's changed his name, but he's changed his passport more than once. And now on this side of the Tasman, roaming Australian correspondent at large, Dr. Craig Heilmann. Kia ora. Good morning.
You're Andrew, and yes, you've got to change your passport regularly if you want to stay one step ahead of the law, mate. So just keep moving. The tax office will never catch you.
Exactly. Well, hey, good to have you on this side of the ditch. Meanwhile, across Australia, in Australia, they're making more and more things illegal, including young people, teenagers, having access to social media. Now, everybody that isn't a teenager thinks this is an absolutely brilliant idea, but do you think it's going to work?
Mate, no, I don't think it's going to work at all, to be honest. But look, good try. Good try. I hope it goes well. I mean, we know phones are, and I'm on a phone at the moment, but we know phones are terrible for people's brains. So I don't know what that says about me, but I think for you and me, mate, our brains were formed in an analog world, and
Yes.
now we're in a digital space, so we're probably okay. But look, no, I think it's a good move by Australia. I think first in the world legislation. Do I think it will work? No, I think it's going to be hard to keep kids off social media personally, but good try. Let's see.
Yeah, no, certainly. And hey, to be fair, I suppose there is some pretty strong research to say that this is having an impact on young people.
Yep.
But it may be a case that the horse is really bolted on this one. To mix metaphors, try and get that genie back in the bottle.
No, you're absolutely right, mate. And look, there is a lot of research now showing anxiety problems related to kids with technology. So, look, it's a good thing to do. I think the less technology in our lives, the better, to be honest. It's supposed to serve us, but we end up serving it. So, look, good try by Australia. Let's see what happens. But I definitely think it's a move in the right direction. Of course, if you have a left-wing government like we've got, of course, they love issuing orders like this, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, if they could, they'd keep you and I off social media as well. In fact, they're actually trying to do that. It's called misinformation, disinformation.
Wow.
Your free speech does not matter, brother.
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you what. You guys give it a try in Australia. And if it works at all, maybe we'll prayerfully consider it.
Take it on board.
But you see, it may boost tourism. There'll be Australian teenagers wanting to come over here for the summer holidays,
right.
so they can get back on the socials.
There are such things as digital nomads and digital refugees these days. So apparently, if you're one of those, you can travel wherever you like and get yourself a visa. So
there we go.
That'll be half the world, I'd say.
You may be one of those people, Craig. Somebody who may not be welcome, though, in at least some parts of Australia is Jamie Oliver. Now, I think he should have stuck to his cooking on this one. Of course, famous for his restaurants and for his cooking programs and his cookbooks and all of that type of stuff. But now he's writing not just cookbooks, but children's books set in Australia, which have kind of not really, some cultural problems with some of the content, some people are saying.
Yeah, so someone has to say it, mate, but he's cooked the books. No, he's got an Aboriginal character, I think, in one of his recent children's book. And it's, let's just say the meal has gone down the wrong way in Australia with Aboriginal communities, particularly those that are activist-led, tend to be pretty unhappy at the moment with Mr. Jamie Oliver and his books.
Exactly. And I suppose, to be fair, if anybody's got the stories to tell, haven't you got enough children's authors in Australia? Is that if you're needing to import some of them?
Yeah, I can't figure it out, mate. I don't know why he felt the need to put an Aboriginal child in his book, but there's some interesting lines in the book from this particular character. So, yeah, I don't know. I just don't quite understand it myself. It's no form of cultural appropriation. I'm not sure what everyone's upset about, but poor old Jamie has apologised, and good on him.
And I suppose, if you're going to make stereotypes about another person's culture, like, if I was going to make disparaging comments about you being Australian, for example, not that I would ever
not
do that.
Not that you ever would.
Not that I ever would. But I suppose at least have an understanding of that culture, at least know some people of that culture before you do the generalisations.
That's right. Yeah.
Is a wise word there.
That's exactly right.
Somebody else who might be losing his passport on this one, of course, in the United States, the elections recently. Now, it's going to take them about 2 or 3 months to figure out how to change the government, but they've elected a new president. And they might be looking for a new Aussie ambassador, I think, Craig.
Well, what are you doing for the next 3 or 4 years? We're looking for a new ambassador, mate, because Kevin Rudd has basically called Donald Trump the village idiot. He's called him he's the worst president ever. He's a menace to Western civilization. Pretty much throwing the book at Mr. Trump. Now, I don't think we all know Trump does not take this stuff well, mate. He's not going to take it lying down. So I do think Australia's going to be looking for a new ambassador. Kevin has quietly tried to take all his social media down, all the terrible things he said over the years. But you know this because you're in the industry, mate. The problem with video and cameras and all the rest of it, it's permanent. It's like permanent ink. You can't get rid of it. So Kevin's been found out. I think he's gone, mate, I'd say.
Exactly. Now, to be fair, at least the teenagers in Australia won't be able to see his social media history because that's been banned.
Right.
None of them.
And maybe they'll learn a lesson from this. We used to tell our kids, mate, that once you say a word out of your mouth, it's like toothpaste out of the tube. You can never get it back in. We used to put toothpaste on the table and say, guys, get that back in the tube. And that was our little life lesson about what your words are like. So, Kevin Rudd, wake up to yourself, mate.
Exactly. Although, to be fair, I think the new vice president of the United States said some rude things about Trump as well. And he's going to be the new vice president. So
no, absolutely. But when you come from Ohio and you've got guns, mate, you can say whatever you like.
Wow, yeah, no, there's a bit of that as well. Hey, Craig, thanks very much for joining us once again. Always appreciate your contributions and all the best with that passport thing. Thanks for joining us.
Bless you, mate. See you soon. Cheers.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.